into the Everyday Leaders Facebook group. Good evening, everyone, and happy Father's Day. This is Melanie Ake with Everyday Leaders, and super excited. I founded this group a few years ago, and I am trying to find creative ways to bring value to you. And so tonight you may see people jumping in here on the live feed, which is awesome because we have some very special guests with us tonight. First of all, my friend Jeff Hancher that I spoke with at David McGlennon's leadership event a couple of years ago in December of 2019, right before COVID. And Jeff and I met, and he was transitioning his life from corporate America into being his own boss, his own speaker, starting his company, the Champion Forum podcast, and this Champion Mindset. So after a huge career in corporate, he decided to take the leap. And so we were talking just a couple of weeks ago, and I realized that his daughter, Jacqueline, JQ, as we'll call her tonight, she has just started her venture at Chick-fil-A. So you guys all know how amped up I am on leadership and principles. And so I twisted JQ's arm and I said, would you come on Everyday Leaders and talk to us about everything that you're learning and the decisions that you're making that maybe other people in your life aren't also making, but what are you learning about Chick-fil-A? So here we go. Jacqueline Hancher, JQ, we'll call her, 17 years old. She's a high school senior, class of 2022. She's been working at Chick-fil-A for 4 months and employed at Peace, Love, and Little Donuts for 3 years. So she's had lots of experience and plays varsity volleyball. You know, that's after my heart. So she's been doing that for 3 years. Very active in church, National Honor Society, Teen Pack Leadership alumni, and of course, her mom and dad, Jeff and Janelle, and her brother, Jake. And this is awesome. And I know this is your very first interview, so
yes,
thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor. I'm very thrilled to be joining you.
This is so awesome. So we've got some people in the room here. You have your uncle, right, JR?
Yes.
Yes.
Uncle Jay.
Hello. And we have Bonnie, and she's from Michigan, and she's joining us tonight. And also your mom is on here. So
Yes.
For anybody, if you want to ask JQ questions, if you guys are inspired, you see the post here, hop on the Zoom. You can join us live because you can ask questions, and I'm going to be watching our Facebook Live too. So we're going to be talking tonight about everything Chick-fil-A and some secrets. So Jacqueline, we all think, as some of us as adults, right, that we've had these dream jobs, that we have taken a lot of leadership lessons in our lives and said, okay, I'm going to go use this and apply it. And I'm going to really teach what I've learned. For me, it was Disney. When I was your age, I wanted to go work at Disney World so I could learn the principles. So I want to hear your journey about what influenced you to start your career at Chick-fil-A.
So kind of a funny story about it, actually. So I had been looking for a job like all year. My parents were like, you need to get a job, stay committed to something. And we were just like looking around and like everything was hiring, but just the jobs I was looking at weren't hiring at the moment that I wanted to do. And my mom goes, you should try out Chick-fil-A. And everything in me was like, no, I don't want to do Chick-fil-A. It's overplayed. It's just, my brother did it. And, I just didn't want to like fall in his line and, carry after. And then I couldn't get any jobs. And my mom was like, just try Chick-fil-A. They're hiring. I'm sure you'll get the job. So after some prying from my parents, I finally agreed to go and get a job at Chick-fil-A. Went through the whole hiring process and everything, and here we are. It's kind of just like a forced decision, but I'm more thankful for it than I could ever be now.
So 4 months, right? So you've gotten through kind of the honeymoon stage, and I know, and we were talking about, the commitment, because you're doing something maybe that your friends look at it differently, right? They're asking you to come work at different places. So tell me how that feels when you get a little bit of peer pressure, um, because we've all been there, and I just want to hear it out of your voice and how you're in your mind making these decisions, that are, you're so adamant about, like, I know this is what I'm doing because I'm learning, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it's I was talking to a friend, he works at Target actually. And he was like, "You should come work there, we get paid $15 an hour, you can listen to music the whole time, like it's fun and you get to work with customers." And in my head, I'm just like, yeah, but like you're stocking shelves. Like you don't get to make that like person connection that you would at Chick-fil-A. Like at Chick-fil-A, you're waiting on hundreds of customers a day, making that impact and just being able to like see people smile whenever you hand them the food and like just waiting on them is honestly like the biggest reward I can get from working. So anytime someone says, you should come work with me, I'm like, no, you should come work with me. Like Chick-fil-A is the best job I could ever ask for. It's amazing there. So honestly, it's amazing. Yeah.
So what was the interview process like?
Yeah. So I had reached out to them actually, because as I said, my parents kind of pushed me along the trail there. So I had reached out, I called the store, talked to the manager, and they had someone take my number and they had someone actually call my phone. So they reached out to me as well, which was really nice, just because they want to make that connection with you as well, like through the whole hiring process. Um, so I called, set up an interview, did the interview. They have this first spokeswoman kind of. So she, gets to meet you a little bit, sees how your personal life would like fit up a Chick-fil-A, what are like some of your leaders in your life, just asking you like a bunch of questions, just to, like, really trying to get to know you. Which is really cool. They ask you like a bunch of questions, like what does second mile service mean to you? Like was one of their questions. So that's that first initial interview. And then after that, she'll be either yay or nay, which 99% of the time they hire anyone who comes through their doors just because they can make that impact. So after that, they actually do an interview with the owner of the Chick-fil-A location I work at, which is kind of intimidating, not gonna lie. He's like this 6'4" dude. So me, I'm just like, oh my goodness, But he was amazing, asked amazing questions, just like was really vulnerable, just like asking questions, which is really nice, like settled my nerves a lot. So then after that, they basically just tell you like, hey, you're hired, you got the job, and this is what your career is going to look like from here on out. And then I think about trying to think 2 weeks after, they have this orientation, which is amazing. They take you all through Chick-fil-A stores. So they show you the front of house, back of house, just get you introduced to the setting there. And they go over all of their like core four beliefs and just like what it's really like to be a Chick-fil-A employee. So it was a great process and I loved every second of it.
So when you talk about core beliefs, right, we are all leadership junkies in this area that are watching tonight. So talk to us about those core beliefs. And I know your dad is just all over this because,
Yes,
this is his
absolutely.
platform about champion mindset and the forum of champions. So
Right.
how does this relate to the things that he teaches every day? Take us through those core beliefs of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, definitely. So Chick-fil-A's core four, it's kind of more of just like a training aspect. So they have the eye contact, which is one of them, smile, speak enthusiastically, and stay connected, which I think all of those are great points that anyone can learn through, making eye contact. My dad has always been big on that, like anytime you're talking to someone, whether it's adult or peer, look them in the eye and it shows that your confidence and it shows that you're comfortable at where you're at in life. And then another is the smile. That's just, I think, a great for anyone, like a great tip. You know, a smile can really like brighten up the room anywhere you're at. So I think that's a great point as well. And then speaking enthusiastically, you know, the way that you use your voice can really express how you're feeling, and it can express just like emotions that couldn't otherwise be expressed. And then again, the last one was staying connected, which is really great at Chick-fil-A. I wasn't expecting to be like completely overwhelmed and like everyone wanting to know everything about you. So it is really great how they do it. They like all of their employees just really get to know you. They'll ask you what you're doing earlier that day before your shift, or they'll ask you what you're doing over the weekend, and just like really staying connected and also making connections with guests as well. You know, for me, I work front of house, so I'm making those connections with the customers. And, you know, just seeing someone and seeing like, it's always easy to tell if someone's having a good day or a rough day, you know? So just like making those connections and being able to, you know, maybe be a more sympathetic to someone who's seeming a little down, or, you know, building up someone who is like really excited, and you're just like matching the energy that they give out. So that was one of the main things they teach at Chick-fil-A, is those core four, which I think are absolutely amazing.
That, you know, you could write every one of John Maxwell's books right now. Because those are beliefs that you take with you to any job. Those are Disney values.
Yeah.
I love this. And if you practice that, you know, I'm sure you're a person because you've had great influencers. And so you've kind of realized the value of making those connections all your life.
Mhm.
And so it's, you know, easy for you to kind of go in here and then understand, wow, we're serving customers, right? We're serving
Right.
more. And so when you say it's my pleasure, how does that make you feel as an employee
Mhm.
giving that, right? Not just saying you hear it when you go and you order food, but when you're the one that's actually saying that every single day, what does that feel like for you?
You know, it's kind of funny. At first, they have a very high standard on you saying my pleasure, which is great. You know, it builds what Chick-fil-A is all about, like that connection with the guests. Um, so yeah, they really just drill that into us. And me personally, it took me a couple times, I'm not gonna lie, to like get used to saying, you know, because, you know, the rest of the world does not say my pleasure, you know, they'll say, oh, you're welcome or no problem. But I think personally, it's just amazing, and it shows that you really care about the customer. Because instead of just saying, as I said before, like, you're welcome or like, no problem, like, my pleasure really shows that you want to go that extra mile, you know, that you intentionally want to say my pleasure and really just like greet the guests and like express your feelings and just really pour into them.
That is so true. You know, we say this all the time. If you're intentional about what you say, how
Mhm.
you show up, it really does change you from the inside out, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, okay, so I didn't ask you this, this is off script, but what would you say? Because you've been there for 4 months now, so I'm sure you've had a situation. Have you experienced or seen a situation that has been difficult? And how have you seen that, or have you experienced it to be able to handle that in the Chick-fil-A way?
Yeah, so this is kind of amazing that you asked that. So I had a shift actually. Trying to think. It was this past Thursday, and one of the cars that came through the drive-through put his car in park at the like window, and his car got stuck in park. So everyone behind him like couldn't get through, couldn't get their food or anything. And we're like, all right, just you know, try to like move your like car. Like we'll try to do everything we can. So we give them the food, right? And you know, you go to a McDonald's, a car breaks down at the window. They're saying, screw it, close the store, we're done here. At Chick-fil-A, they decided we're going to bring out a ton of people and try and push the car. Now, see, we didn't know at the time, but it was stuck in park, so we couldn't even move the car, which we were going to try to do. So instead, we had everyone behind that car pull out after we give them their food, pull out, and then go out of Chick-fil-A. And then from then on, we had to grab from window, run it all the way around the store, and give it to the cars there. So it was just kind of amazing. And it was so fun too. Like, it's not like any of the employees were dreading the situation, we were having a blast. Like, I got a video footage of it actually, and like all the employees that we were just like happy to be there, like we didn't get scared or we didn't like shy away from that problem, we instead, got that order and ran it across the building. So it was just absolutely a fun thing, which anywhere else, like I said, they would be scared to, have that breakdown. But at Chick-fil-A, we kind of just drill into that and go that extra mile on our service.
Wow. Okay, so you've just trumped, like, I've trained salespeople that have been in business for 30 years and they're told to do something different because a problem happens and they don't know how to solve it and they freeze. So what a great explanation of, like, hey, this is how we solve things, right? We just take the right attitude.
Mhm.
And your team leader, you guys formed a solution together, right? That's that's what the mindset of a leader does, is to make sure that nobody's hurt, but you're actually creating an environment that it's joyful, and it is your pleasure, right, to solve it for that customer.
Indeed, yeah, it's so fun there. Just like being able to like see all the leaders, even whenever, as like it's like so normal to see the line past the drive-through area, like all the way out into the road, that can be intimidating for a lot of people, just like seeing everyone, like all those cars. But they just like stay so calm, which I think is another great point, is just like staying calm in those situations. um they'll just be like, it's okay, just take a deep breath, you got this. Actually last night too as well, we had a line all the way back out to the next restaurant, and it was just absolutely crazy house in there, and I was doing drinks, and drinks is a lot. We'll have people come through and they'll order like 10 drinks and you're like, oh my goodness, I only have like 3 minutes to do this, like gotta stay on top of it. But the managers are so amazing there. They look over at your screen all the time, make sure you're doing okay. And like anytime you're like absolutely losing it, which like I'm not gonna lie, happens very few, but it does happen. um but they'll just come over and be like, do you need help? And I'll be like, yeah, can you help me with this order real quick, it's huge. And they're just like so amazing there. They really put you first, just making sure that you're comfortable in any of the situations, whether it's like under pressure or if a customer comes in and is upset, really just like dealing with it head on and staying calm.
So you hit just something else that I was going to ask you about, like when that happens. So your leaders, right? You look to your leaders because you've only been here for 4 months and they're trained to kind of help you be a model, be a role model.
Right.
And so when you have a customer situation, or, ours has 2 lanes, I'm surprised they don't have like a ramp that comes in from the parking phase 3 miles down. They have capacity to serve.
Right.
You can't make more fountain drinks inside. You only have so much time. So what are the strategies that you use, JQ, when you're like really going, oh my gosh, I'm looking outside the building, there's a line 3 miles long, and how do you just deal with that every day? Because you're in high school, like, you could say, this is not my responsibility, but the encouragement, right, from what you do every single day is how you start to do everything. So I just want to know about that mindset.
Yeah, for me personally, I think it's all about staying in the moment and, not looking past or like behind you on like what you did wrong, like, oh, I spilled that drink, like looking past that, staying in the moment, working on what you have to work on now, like working on that order, finishing that order, just staying on top of everything, not looking at the orders you have ahead, because gosh knows there's so many usually. But yeah, just really like trying to stay in the moment and not get overwhelmed with everything on the screen, just staying on top of what you have in the moment.
So I know I asked you this earlier before this show, but what about the coleslaw?
I cannot be held responsible for that.
They took away the coleslaw. You know, bring on macaroni and cheese and take away our coleslaw. But you know, you did share, and I think this is really great for people, that there is kind of a secret menu,
Yes.
right?
The
So
secret
what about the secret menu?
Honestly, I don't know how much I can share without a Chick-fil-A manager coming over to me and saying, "I'm sorry, you're fired. You leaked all of our secrets." But yeah, we do have like a secret Chick-fil-A menu, which is kind of cool, I think. I'll share a couple of the items I guess. So one of them is I told you, Melanie, this the other day was the frosted Coke. So we have the frosted lemonade and the frosted coffee, but you can actually ask for a frosted Coke, which is actually really good. I think they're amazing. So that's one of our specialty off menu items that is really fun that people get sometimes.
That's awesome. So so does that go to another line? Like when that comes in, can you order it online? I'm gonna go get one now.
See, I'm not sure about that, but
Oh, that is so great. Well, you know, Steak and Shake used to have that you could order. A lot of our family used to work at Steak and Shake back in the day, and they said you would have to order real ice cream in your milkshakes, but you could order it that way. But not a lot of people knew it, but it made all the difference, right? It's going that extra mile.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, we
So
also have like all of our different lemonade mixes too. I don't know if you have heard of the Sunjoys, which they're actually like really famous and super good. But like people come in and they'll be like, "Can I have 1/4 tea and 3/4 lemonade?" Which I'm just like mind blown. Like, how do people even think to ask for that? But we do it, just like the secret menu things that you don't really think about.
mhm.
So it's pretty fun.
It is all about serving. So here it is June. So you've worked there off volleyball season. So
Mhm.
you haven't been playing volleyball. When you go back this fall,
Mhm.
and what do you think the lessons are that you're going to take into your team when you get on the court?
Oh my, there's so many, honestly. I would say, oh man, definitely being confident in who you are. At work, there's so many different people that will come through the line. And especially with this whole, COVID thing going on, they'll be like, "Are you wearing mask? Are you not?" And I'm just like staying true to myself, like trying not to get involved in what the world says, and just trying also. I think a good point is like going that second mile. The second mile service at Chick-fil-A is extreme and it's amazing. I think that's another thing that could be great at volleyball, just like telling the teammates, go the second mile, if coach says pick up that ball, pick up the rest of the balls, you can carry too, it's okay. So I think just second mile service and also communication is a great point at Chick-fil-A because the way they teach you to communicate is fast and get the point across. Going through a drive-through, you don't have time to have a 5-minute conversation with someone. You're trying to figure out what they want to eat in the nicest way possible. So I think during volleyball and like those stressful situations, just like being communication and like telling your teammates, you can do this. Like, this is what we have to do to win. Now let's get through it and let's do it. So I think it's amazing.
Uh, you're going to be a great coach. You are a great coach, right? You are learning all of these lessons that are so important, JQ. You don't realize them now when you go back and you say what experience maybe made you think differently as you start the new school year. Because have you been in school this last, or have you been at home? Tell me about your last year, how COVID has affected you.
Yeah, so this year's been crazy as it is for everyone else, I'm sure. Um, but we really were pushed this year as far as like getting out of your comfort zone. So at the beginning of the year, we went 2 days a week and then 3 days we were home. So that was kind of just weird being like home one day and then the next, waking up at 6 a.m. and going to school. So it was really crazy. And we also had the school divided in half. So I didn't get to see like half of my friends, which was kind of sad. But at the same time, like I was just happy to be in school. And then I think it was during November until mid-January, we were home because we had so many COVID cases, which honestly was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie, school from home is not for me. But it was just kind of crazy, like how everything went back and forth. Like one week we would be home, the next 2 weeks we'd be at school, vice versa. I think it was until February we went back 4 days a week, like full time, which was really nice, like getting back into like a normal schedule and like not being like worried about, going home the next week. It was just really nice to again have that schedule and like be able to see all of your friends and like sit at the lunch table. So it's been crazy, but it was good. We got to end the year full swing, 4 days a week, seeing everybody. So it was really nice. I think you're on mute.
My mute button, yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? This whole year, you're on mute. Well, I'm excited to see what happens as you kind of go back and get involved and then use all of these principles because, I love that your friends are begging you to go to different places to work, but you're saying my principles are based on what I feel like has been really important. And you have been influenced with such great leaders in your family. And I want to celebrate them because your dad is amazing and your mom is amazing. Your uncle's on here and your brother, right? And so what do you think that you want to do next, JQ? What's your dream kind of after you get out of high school? What do you really hope to do next?
Yeah, I really am trying to go to college in Florida. My number one college right now is SEU, which is Southeastern University in Florida, which is an amazing school. We visited it, I think 2 weeks ago-ish. So it's amazing there. I want to go for business communications, which I'm sure is no surprise as it runs in the family pretty much. But yeah, go there. After that, hopefully start my own business, following the entrepreneurship legacy in the family. But yeah, really just build my brand.
I love it. Build your brand. We've got some people on Facebook on here that are commenting saying, yes, live in the moment. It's important. Communication is important for every aspect of your life. And love absolutely hearing about the stories from Chick-fil-A. 'Cause, we all go there and we wake up on Sunday and say, I want to go to Chick-fil-A, right?
Yes.
Because of those values, sticking to your values. I think that's one of the big things that people really respond to is, at first when they started expanding, people had a lot of opinions, right? That, oh, well, you can't do that because that's not like everybody else. And I think that's one of the great leadership traits of Dan, Kathy, and the whole organization is that they really do stand behind everything that they believe. And so obviously, right, by the people that are lining up 3 miles long, when you attract people that believe what you believe, you just make it happen. And so that's really, really an awesome thing to be associated with. I do want to ask you this. So, what's your favorite menu item?
Wow, that is a tough one. Oh, goodness. My favorite menu item. Honestly, it'd probably have to be the cookies and cream milkshake. Those are so, so good. I have one probably every shift, which is not good, but it does happen. So that's really good. Also, this might be surprising, but the chicken noodle soup is actually really good there. I got that my last shift too, even though it's summertime. Their chicken noodle soup is literally so, so good. So I can eat that year round. Like I don't care if it's 90 degrees outside, I'll take the chicken noodle soup. So that's kind of like a one that people don't really see much at Chick-fil-A, but highly recommend the chicken noodle soup.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to try those. I need to get the shake, and I think I have had the chicken noodle soup, and it is to die for. It's delicious. So, unfortunately, you don't have hamburgers, but everybody is trying to copy the service. In our area in Indianapolis, you see Taco Bell, you see McDonald's. Now they're trying to say "my pleasure," but it's not consistent, and it's not the culture. Right? It's not the culture. So, does Dan Kathy come out and work with you guys ever?
He has not been to our store yet, but I'm sure he will soon. But our owner, his name's Jay, Mr. J. He works with us several times a week, and it's actually really cool to like see him like work on our level. Because I feel like some business owners don't really do that as often. They'll just be like at home or like away on business trips. But him being there is like really helpful because you're like, oh, he did this too. So like where I'm at is like still important. But I think it's just cool to have like that higher leadership there with you as well.
They're right there rolling their sleeves up, right? And makes you feel a part of it.
Yeah.
Man, JQ, this has been awesome. I'm going to open up the mics now. I'm going to, because I absolutely love this format, and I know Bonnie and your mom and your uncle and your dad are right there. So, hey, you guys, let's go at it. What questions do you have for JQ? Anything you want to ask? Go ahead, Bonnie.
I don't know if I have a question, but I just want to say, you go, girl.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
It's awesome. To be 17 and have that kind of exposure, right? And that influence, that confidence.
I want to make a comment about that value of speaking enthusiastically.
Yes, ma'am.
I do Duolingo. Do you do Duolingo? I learned a little Spanish on the Duolingo app, and they have an avatar, so they speak, and they have one where there's like this teenage girl, and she just speaks in this she's like a tip, like a maybe a stereotyped teenage voice, where she's just kind of nasally droning out like she doesn't care. They picked that for one of the voices, and it makes me laugh because so to have a value of intentionally speaking enthusiastically, it says something. It says something, particularly when you're 17. Just saying.
Yes. That confidence, right? It is just that champion mindset. Okay, I have a couple questions from the crowd here. First of all, this one's from your mom. So she says, what's your favorite part about working at Chick-fil-A?
Favorite part at working at Chick-fil-A? There's a lot to this one too. Favorite part? Probably just being pushed out of my comfort zone when like working with customers, because I tend not to be as like, I don't know, outgoing per se. Like at school, I'll talk to my friends, but I'm not really like outgoing, But at work, it's like a whole different JQ coming out. Like I am that lion. I am talking to everybody. So I really think that that's just my favorite part, is being able to talk to the customers 24/7, see what they're going through, and just like being able to make that connection with them, and like seeing their eyes like widen as they get their food and like drive on. It's just the biggest reward ever.
That is so important that you just said that, because so many kids go through school and you may not feel like you fit in, right? You may feel like you get bullied, or you're in a clique, and just because you play volleyball, like that's your clique, but then some other groups at school may not, feel like you fit in or may treat you differently. But saying that you go to a place that you're actually getting paid, right? You're getting paid to do this. and it's an environment that you're not familiar with, but you've put yourself out there and you really step into the moment and saying that this fulfills you. I mean, that's life, right? School is what you have to do, and then learning these lessons so that you can apply these to your life. And so I just absolutely adore you. First of all, I want to adopt you. Because you're going to be a big influencer for your friends that may not have had those experiences. The ones that are working at Target are going to need you to lean on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to, you know, just get involved at and like really build up your character too. You know, the principles they teach there, you can't find anywhere else. Like working at Target, working at McDonald's, like you'll stay the same person you were before you started working. At Chick-fil-A, like my parents can tell you, like I've changed. Like I'll come home from shift and be like so happy than when I was before. So it's great. I love it.
That is awesome. Jody Bondi, she says here, so what is your passion for your business in the future?
I honestly don't know if I have a passion yet. Definitely working on it for sure. Um, I really love the idea, and this has been like a dream from a kid, not sure like how realistic it is, but is starting my own sports complex. So like huge like building just of like a ton of like people working on their sports, you know, gyms everywhere. So that's kind of been like my set off goal, I guess, for my business. Just because where I'm at right now, I'm not exactly 100% sure what I want to be doing, but I'm sure it'll come eventually.
Well, this is awesome, JQ. This is, I'm just so honored that you came on tonight on Father's Day. Really, you know, making your father proud. I know he's right there in the background, but Jeff, you and Janelle have done an outstanding job with your daughter. She is just really to be admired by so many people. And I know you're going to go change the world because of your attitude and just how you show up. And you've taken on something that is completely foreign to you, and you've stuck with it. And now you can really take those lessons back to your final school years, and then go on and take it to college and really implement those values for your whole life.
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me on here as well. It's been the biggest honor. I can't even express, you know, how thrilled I was to be on here. And I also just want to thank my father on Father's Day for this opportunity. He's been a great role model in my life, you know, just leading me through everything leadership, everything podcasting, you know, just being a great role model. So want to thank him as well on this Father's Day.
Aw, I want to get a tissue. Give him a big hug. We love him. And, you know, this is all about leadership, and Everyday Leaders is exactly this, highlighting people that do things every day to make yourself a leader, because you have the choice every day to do something to make your life better so that you can make others better too. So JQ, thank you so much for being on tonight. We appreciate you, and please check in with us. I know you're going to do great things in the world, and you're always welcome as a guest here. And please keep us updated, because I know I'll get lots of texts. What's going on with that girl from Chick-fil-A?
I will. That's a promise.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Well, do you have any last closing requests from anybody in our group, or any kind of challenges? Do you guys have a Chick-fil-A challenge that you do every day to keep in your mind for customers?
I'm trying to think. We usually just like try to do like as many cars as possible. We kind of just like goof around, be like, call up all your friends, you know, have them come through drive-through. So our challenge is kind of just get as many cars through drive-through as possible. But leaving thoughts, I would say one of the biggest things in my life has been the influencers in my life. You know, you as an example is a great role model. My parents, you know, everyone, like the managers at Chick-fil-A, great role models in my life, obviously. But I just want to leave with a little challenge, I guess, for those listening, and, you know, any teens out there who maybe don't have anyone to look up to. There's always something you can be doing, even though others aren't watching. I would just challenge you to, write your goals down, even if, no one's pushing you for those goals. Just write them down, and keep them in mind. Write them on your phone, in your notes. Just look at them often and work towards your goals. Even if someone's not yapping in your ear like a training coach, be your own coach, be your own leader in your life, lead your life how you want to be, and just make the impact and start working on your impact right now. So
You heard it here. Be an everyday leader of your life. You just summed it up. You are awesome. I love you. I'm going to come to Florida and visit you. Uncle JR, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I tell you what, I couldn't be more proud of she is my own kid. I tell you, that girl's got a bright, bright future, but you could see that yourself. She is amazing. I heard that word a few times throughout. Kiddo, you're amazing. Very proud of you and I love you.
Thanks, Uncle Jay. I love you so much.
Yes, this is awesome. Well, have a great rest of the year. Good luck in volleyball. And please, like I said, keep us posted. Sneak on your dad's account here for Everyday Leaders and post some pictures of volleyball. Let us know what's going on, because we want you to be a part of the journey and we want to support you. So congratulations, JQ.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me on as well.
You're welcome. And happy Father's Day to everyone. And remember, if you want to be a speaker in the series, you want to teach, you can go to everydayleaders.com, sign up for a Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern, and you can speak and teach on your passion. This is what we do. We lift leaders, we celebrate others, and we pour into our lives so that we can share and pour others. So thank you very much. Have a great Father's Day, everybody. And thanks again, JQ, for joining us tonight, and have a great rest of the year.
It's my pleasure.